Hi, thank you for being here for my speech for school.
Okay.
There's 4. My cameraman is 5.
Okay.
Say hi. All right. I'm sure many people have felt this way after drinking too much. So my speech is about over drinking.
Okay.
This has happened to many people. In fact, earlier this month in the ER we had a young lady come in feeling very sick. She celebrated graduating high school. Didn't tell mom she had been drinking, but mom knew. In fact, since 1987, 32% over drinking by young people has gone up. As you can see by this little thing, in 2007, people from 12 to 20, 28% of male and 27% of females in that age drank. And binge drinking is pretty high too. This has become a major problem in the United States, and we need to stop looking at it the way we do and start looking at it the way France looks at it. Because here in America, we focus on drinking as bad, so underage people find it taboo, or it's something we have to go and find and enjoy, and our penalties aren't very well. So let's move on to the taboo. According to a professor at Indiana University, her name is Miss Ruth Ings, having the legal age 21 makes it forbidden, a badge of rebellion against authority to drink under that age. In fact, 32% of college students under the age of 21 overconsume alcohol, compared to only 24% over. This is why 21 and the way we do things here in America isn't working. We need to act like France. As you can see from this chart, yes, France consumes more alcohol, but they have less binge drinkers and less people who are alcohol dependent. And the reason is simple, because at a young age, according to the Washington Post, drinking wine and with a meal is considered part of a tradition. It's their culture. They're brought up to learn. It's okay to have a drink now and then, responsibly. So when they get to college age, they don't go crazy and start drinking like crazy. According to procon.org, for those of you who don't know, even though the legal drinking age is 21, 29 states allow underage drinking with a parent in the privacy of their own home. And according to health research funding, almost a dozen of those also will allow drinking for educational purposes, which is okay, and for religious reasons. We need to change the law to allow every state to have drinking with a parent saying, this is how much you can drink. Drink with the meals. Limit your drinking so that way they don't go crazy later. As I said, France drinking laws are a bit different. At 18, you're legally allowed to go drinking. But you can actually buy alcohol at 16 in France. According to the Washington Post article again, in France, you can get a driver's license at 18 compared to 16 here. In France, driving is a privilege. Here, driving is a right. We need to change our thinking. In France, the insurance for a driver is really high. You think insurance for teenagers here are high? Go to France. It's outrageous. They have better public transportation. Also, to get a license, the test over there is a lot harder than the U.S. Now, we've made some strides to try to help underage drinking with programs of this is why it's bad. We got better seatbelt laws, designated drivers. But that has all kind of helped, but we're still focusing too much on drinking's bad, but not this is what would happen if you drink and drive. Okay, we need to focus more on that because people are going to drink no matter what you do. But you need to make it so much where they don't want to drive, where they have options other. As I said, binge drinking has increased between age 16 and 20 because it's taboo. We don't demystify the whole idea, and our penalties are very bad. The penalty for underage drinking here is a $2,500 fine, loss of license for 90 days, and maybe a year in jail, which you're probably not going to get because they usually say, oh, you spent a night or two in jail, okay, you're good. But that's not going, most people are just like, okay, yeah, I lost it, but who cares, okay. If we increase the fines and increase the license to maybe a year without a license, maybe people will wake up. We also need better public transportation. Now, there are people who say keep it drinking age at 21 because underage drinking leads to using other drugs. Well, according to the American Academy of Children and Adolescent Psychiatry, the three main reasons why people do harder drugs are family history, so you don't need to be under 21 to have that problem. Depression, you can be over 21 and still be depressed, so that's not a good argument. And low self-esteem. A 15-year-old has low self-esteem, a 21 has low self-esteem, a 30-year-old can have low self-esteem. It really doesn't matter. Now you can think of overconsumption like a famous person, S. Scott Fitzgerald, once said. First you take a drink, then the drink takes a drink, and then the drink takes you. That's how alcoholics become. Now let's listen to a quote from Mr. Frank Sinatra about alcohol. Alcohol is man's worst enemy, but the Bible says love your enemy. When I was in the Navy, I had 18, 19, 20-year-olds working with me. It was okay for them to go fight. It was okay to give up their lives for their country. They can go to England or France or Europe or whatever, get off the base over there, go have a drink, no problem. They just can't be drunk when they get back on base. But here in the U.S., if they can't go out and buy a drink at the local restaurant to have a drink with dinner. That needs to change. If you're old enough to fight and die for this country, you're old enough to have a drink. Thank you, everybody. That's under time.
Thank you, teacher.